There is a bay like no other in the world. It has been witness to human battles for centuries. It has seen the constant rhythm of life, where the swallowing blues of the sea crush into the infinite greens of the land. It is a bay of perpetual change. Yet, there, unchanged, like a spear in the mist, rises the wonder of the West, la merveille de l'Occident, le Mont Saint-Michel.
Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today we are taking you to Mont Saint-Michel, so on you are.
The site's history goes all the way back to the year 708. It was that year when on a hill surrounded by the sea, the Bishop of Avranches, Abbey, founded a modest church dedicated to the Archangel Saint-Michel or Saint Michael. It is then that the story of the Mont Saint-Michel begins.
This is a time when Archangel Michel appeared to Bishop Aubert 3 times in his dream. Soon after, the Christian pilgrims started to arrive in numbers. And this bird keeps on watching other people, he's waiting for people to feed him. He's checking if there is someone around. If there is no one, he catches the food so quickly and then he goes back to his initial place. So it looks like this is his territory and he doesn't let any other bird to come into his territory and eat. You can see now actually.
This year is special for Mont Saint-Michel as it celebrates the millennium of the Abbey Church. It was founded by Hilbert II in 1023.
From a modest church built in the 8th century, Mont Saint-Michel became the center of a great pilgrimage in the Middle Ages. But this extraordinary site was also an abbey, stronghold and a prison.
I feel like the seagulls are literally surveying everybody. You're walking around and they just sit on the roofs and they look at you and they look out, it's like security. Maybe the locals use them as security alarm system. I have no idea, but it's so funny. Since it's a bay, right, the tide goes up and down. So when the tide is low, people go on the guided tours to check out the moving sands, quicksands. We're not gonna do that because basically the time didn't match. We have another visit today and tomorrow they don't have that visit. I don't know why. So we're not gonna do that, but we're trying to go up now. It's a little bit complicated because the mountain itself is full of small tiny streets that are all in between and it's just absolutely gorgeous. You can literally, I think, spend days in here just walking around, but there are so many people and we're not even here on the weekend. It's weekday. Crazy.
Amazing. By the 10th century, the Mont Saint-Michel became Norman, transferred from Breton control, and shortly after, the Duke of Normandy Richard I transformed Le Mont into a Benedictine monastery.
During our tour, we were taken into the chapel of the old church that is now located under the main, newer abbey. Oftentimes, especially during winter, the closed masses happen in this chapel as it is easier to heat up due to its size and architecture. But by 1204, the Bretons burned the village and the monastery.
I've never seen fireplaces that big, and I've been to many chateaus and churches and stuff. I've never seen a fireplace this big. It's crazy. This place is amazing. It's like never-ending visit. This is called Salle de Haute. Above us is another chapel. Wow, this place is magnificent.
Soon after, La Merveille, the main abbey complex at the top of the mountain, was built. As in all French abbeys, the monks of Mont Saint-Michel were driven out during the revolution at the end of 18th century. The monastic buildings began to serve as a prison. This new role of the complex allowed its preservation at the time. Until 1863, 14,000 prisoners passed through this Bastille de Mère, where tides and quicksand made it impossible to escape.
During the English siege, the Romanesque choir of the Abbey church collapsed. It was replaced at the end of the war by the current flamboyant Gothic choir. One can see notable differences in the ceiling's height of the nave and the choir. This height difference perfectly illustrates the incredible architectural progress with the arrival of Gothic style and its ability to build higher and lighter structures.
We were lucky to catch La Demeure de l'Archange exhibition during our visit. It brings together religious, artistic, or customary objects and works that shed light on the great history of Abbey of Saint-Michel. These exceptional pieces, some of which had never before been unveiled to the public, are presented from May 20 to November 5, 2023. Wow. I really underestimated initially. I wasn't so excited to come here, but literally it is one of the best places I ever been to. You should definitely visit. This is a must-see places in France. Absolutely. This is so high for Anton, so I'm the one going up.
For those who remember our escapade to Long, we were in Long, and I had like a major vertigo on one of the tours of the cathedral towers. Here it's better, even though we are much higher up. So I'm kind of proud of myself, but I decided not to go higher. I can't. I am. It's looking down. It's just for me kind of like. Like my hands are all wet, they're all sweaty, my palms. So yeah. Napoleon III closed the prison in 1863. The following year, the Historical Monuments Service restored the building and opened it to public. To transport more and more tourists, a road dike was built in 1879. Mont Saint-Michel thus lost its maritime character, which it will only regain over a century later.
It is only by 1897 that the architect Victor Petit-Grand added a neo-Gothic spire to the central tower of the church, crowned by a statue of Saint Michel in gilded copper. This is when Mont Saint-Michel acquired the spire silhouette we know and marvel at today.
The site was miraculously spared during the Second World War. The Germans, however, still occupied it between 1940 and 1944.
By 1966, the religious community returned to the Mont Saint-Michel. The brothers and sisters of monastic fraternities of Jerusalem have provided a permanent spiritual presence since 2001 and welcome pilgrims and visitors from all over the world.
We finished the Abbey and then we went back to our hotel.
It wasn't like an abbey, actually, it was like a castle.
Yeah.
It was so gigantic.
It's like a city on its own.
Yes,
yep.
Amazing.
I booked a hotel, and this is the thing, by the way, you gotta guys be careful about this. I booked a hotel on booking.com. The address was one thing on booking.com. When you click to view the location on maps, Google Maps shows one area, Apple Maps shows the other area. So I was like, okay, you know what? Everybody gives a good commentary for it. The reviews are good. So why not? I booked it, and what do you think? We ended up booking quite far away.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to walk a little bit and then we can take a shuttle. By car it would be much faster, but we don't drive. Even if you drive, you have to leave your car far away. You can't just park outside and leave it there. You know, so it's kind of like a headache to get to. We are trying to find a restaurant. We hope there is a restaurant where we can eat in Mont Saint-Michel, because so far we're in Normandy, right? The restaurants are so typically touristic here. It's like it's all meat and fish and seafood, because it's Normandy. I understand it, understandable, but it's literally like barely anything we can eat. It's crazy. We're hungry today. We are really hungry. We had like one sandwich and chips. I am starving.
Me too.
So like we're trying to find, we're giving you guys the update. That's it. You know how the English tried to conquer it, but they couldn't. So Sinan was basically just now saying, oh yeah, the walls are not so high. You can climb up. I was like, yeah, sure, that's why they couldn't do it for centuries, and you could climb up and you can do it. Sure. Anyway, the village is like empty. As you can see, this is a completely different picture.
It's so funny. In the afternoon, we barely walked in the street. It took us like 10-15 minutes, but now it's so empty.
We're very happy. We had pizzas. Of course, on the whole menu, we only had 3 options for us to eat. But that's okay, we had really nice pizzas. Now we're going back to the hotel, exhausted. It's amazing how you can see how the sea comes up so quickly. It's so quick. And we have arrived to the Place de Navette is called, so basically with shuttle place. What is the biggest, the most memorable, what can you say about the day?
To me it was definitely the Abbey. When I climbed up to the roof when I had the panoramic view, it was just wow, because normally it is close to public, it's close to people, and they don't open, but I don't know how she opened it. Maybe she was in a good mood, but I really enjoyed it.
I think it's probably part of the visit that we booked. Wow. Yeah, about the visit, really honestly speaking guys, the visit is amazing.
Yeah.
Because not only do they take you to places like all over, by the end I heard some people, they were like tired a bit because it was a bit too long. For some. For me, no, but it was really nice.
Normally, yes, I get bored so quickly, but she made it in a fun way. She was joking
and she was really nice.
She was cute.
She was giving history. She was taking us to places that are normally closed, and on top of that, it was only 18 euro.
Yeah, not so expensive.
Really good value.
Yeah, it was worth.
Yeah,
it was worth the money.
So yes, definitely take the visit if you're coming here. We're gonna put the link.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we are really tired, and tomorrow we're gonna continue exploring. We're gonna have a second day at Mont Saint-Michel. Good morning, bonjour. So we are walking back to the Mont. You know, in general, this mountain has pretty much just the Abbey, and then you've got the small museums, but there isn't like, you wouldn't be able to come here for like a week.
No, it's too much.
And stay here because there isn't really much to do. You can finish it in 2 days, I think, and it's fine. Also, one funny thing we noticed yesterday, the mountain literally just dies out. But I mentioned that yesterday, I think. It's completely dead. In the evening, there is nobody. Even people who were there, they were trying, bless them, they were trying to get dinner. And
there were 3 restaurants.
And it was the last one that was open after 9 o'clock, and some people couldn't get a spot because it was just full, and Nothing else was open, so you can imagine all the streets were empty. So yeah, we slept well. And we have an afternoon here as well, and then we'll go back to Paris in the evening. Again, when about transport, I just wanted to add something. If you want to come by train, we are traveling in June. So it's like mid-high season. Basically, there's only one train ride that leaves Paris really early at like 7 in the morning. And then there are buses here between the station and the train, but I couldn't find any trains aside from that. And on the way back, again, only one train. So yeah, so we better be on time and we need to catch it.
Today we're going to try the famous omelette at La Mère Poulard restaurant that became famous for its simple yet gigantic omelette and frequented by many celebrities, heads of states, and millions of tourists.
I'm super excited.
How does it taste?
It's really light. It's really nice. I like it. And the truffle is great. Bon appétit. The atmosphere is nice, and it's basically like very popular for its omelettes. I think the marketing really is well made because people keep on watching it and people gather up and they want to see the performance of how it's made. The recipe is secret, but I can tell you one thing, that there's not enough salt, and to my taste at least, and the whole menu is just meat and fish. I had to even change my side for the omelette because it basically had lard in it. And it was like potatoes that were sauteed with lard and like things we don't eat. But if you like lard, you can have it. They changed it for me with this amazing side dish with mushrooms. That honestly, I think the mushroom dish is better than the actual omelette. Yeah, it's an experience. It's an experience. I don't think I would go back again and eat there again. I think it's more about the image rather than the restaurant. It's not bad. It's alright. Plus, they charge 45 euros for an omelette. So it's kind of like, Sinan, look at his face. Sinan is like, you wanted an experience. Yes, I wanted an experience and I wanted to talk about it afterwards. Why not? It's not that you come to Mont Saint-Michel every single time. But yeah, quand même, it's a bit overpriced. But I think you can find a better omelette, or you can prepare better omelette yourself. Sorry. Like, that's my opinion about omelette. And I'm quite good with omelettes.
As if predicting the tough challenges, Abbey du Mont Saint-Michel, Richard Tourstin erected a stone rampart around the abbey and the village by mid-13th century.
As a result, during the 100 Years' War, the English failed to seize Mont Saint-Michel. It is the only stronghold in Normandy that escaped them. The 100 Years' War made it necessary to protect Mont Saint-Michel by a set of military constructions that allowed it to withstand a siege of almost 30 years. The island of Tombelaine, located 3 kilometers away, had become an English stronghold and still retains ruins of that time. By 1979, Le Mont Saint-Michel became one of the first French sites inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage list.
In 1995, the French state, in conjunction with the communities, decided to restore its maritime character to Mont Saint-Michel. A new dam on the Canon, an upstream waters reserve, hydraulic improvements, and the removal of the current road dike, partly replaced by the footbridge only to open to special buses, have restored its maritime character. The car parks connected by a shuttle bus were redeveloped on the mainland as well.
This colossal project, completed in the fall of 2015, amounted to nearly 185 million euro of public investment. The state contributed 46% in total.
The Abbey has also been the subject of several restoration campaigns in recent years, including that of the statue of the Archangel Saint-Michel. The Centre des Monuments Nationaux has already devoted 7 million euros since 2019 to the development of the site, including the restoration of La Merveille, the main abbey.
The longer we are here, the more I cannot even describe how beautiful this place is. It is an absolute gem. It's incredible in here. It's so beautiful. And just the whole atmosphere. I wish we could just live here for like a month. That would be great, just to see how life is when no one is around, you know, how it is. And maybe in the colder season, I'm sure it's different, but It's just gorgeous.
People are just having the guided tour with the sand. We couldn't make it, as Anton mentioned yesterday, because the timing didn't match. And I really enjoy this city. I mean, it's not even a city, but seriously, this is one of the best places I ever been to in France. It's just absolutely amazing. Nothing else to say, actually.
As we walked around the village, we couldn't help but feel the particularity and magic of this place. There isn't a place like this anywhere else. Mont Saint-Michel is truly a marvel of the French Christian architecture, and it must be seen at least once in your lifetime. This should be on top of your list when you visit France, even though it takes hours to get here. It's worth it.
We are sad to leave, but it's time for us to go home. And if you like this episode, and if you found it useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and comment. It really helps us. And until the next one, au revoir.